Hello everyone, Charles Watts here, the Arsenal correspondent at Goal, joining you on Tuesday. I'm back. Sorry, apologies for those of you who didn't know I was away and have been asking. I've seen some of the messages on social media asking where my videos were. I've been away on holiday, for those of you who didn't know, for those who did know, and for those who I bumped into, and I bumped into a fair few of you while I was away. Always nice to see so many of you out there coming up saying hello and that you enjoy my content, so thanks for those kind messages. It was good to see you. I hope you had a good holiday as well. But I am back now, much to a lot of your disappointment as well, judging by the comments I've been getting on social media from so many of you telling me to please stay away until the end of the season, because you, like me to be fair, are now convinced that I'm the jinx and it's my fault that Arsenal are doing badly. I go away, season was brilliant. I think my last video was entitled Season on the Brink, and I fully admit, when I left Southampton after that defeat, it was only a week ago, just over a week ago, I was utterly convinced that was it, season done. It was going to be a struggle to even get Europe, let alone the Champions League. And then, lo and behold, I go away, Arsenal win at Chelsea, beat Man United, Tottenham drop 5 points out of 6, don't score a goal. I mean, it's just been a remarkable week. Fair play to Arsenal. I mean, like I said, they were on their knees after Southampton. 3 defeats in a row. Bad defeats as well. Performances poor. And then to go, I mean, the Chelsea result, absolutely fantastic. I watched it while I was away. I didn't see all the United game. In fact, the United game, and I've been away with my kids. I had swimming booked. I was at Centre Parks and I had swimming booked, and I walked into the swimming pool just as Saka scored to make it 2-0, and I had to put my phone in my locker, and literally for the next 3 hours I wasn't with my phone. I didn't know what happened, and it was awful. I was just walking around trying to keep an eye on my kids, making sure they didn't drown, and I was just thinking constantly, oh God, what's happened? I bet United have turned it around and won 3-2. There were so many people I saw, occasionally like lifeguards as well. I just wanted to go and tap on the shoulder and say, mate, you got your phone on you? Can you just tell me what the Arsenal score is? I didn't. And then, my mate David Murtagh, if you're watching, David, hello, was the first person I saw when I actually got my phone back. And I saw him messaging me saying, please stay away more often. And I knew we'd won. And what a couple of results those were. I mean, the Chelsea performance was fantastic. I thought they played really, really well. The United game, I've only seen highlights, and it looked like a mad game. Could have gone either way. If Bruno scores that penalty, Arsenal might well have lost that game. And but they stuck in it, got a bit of luck, which is something they haven't always had this season, and then got the win with Xhaka's goal. It's been a fantastic week, and like I said, fair play to Arsenal, because I thought the season was done. I absolutely did. And there's been some unlikely heroes in Nketiah coming on, scoring twice against Chelsea. Brilliant for him. Delighted that he's made a real big impact in the Premier League finally this season. And he's kind of just given Arsenal a little bit extra going forward, hasn't he, as a central striker? A striker who sort of is running in behind and trying to get in the penalty area. He's also been doing pretty well from what I've seen with some of his link-up play as well, which is clearly what Lacazette was doing. But Lacazette wasn't scoring and offering any sort of threat in the penalty area. Nketiah now is doing that, and fair play to him, and he's just given Arsenal a little bit extra going forward. Should have scored against Man United. Obviously he had the one that was disallowed, but should have scored just before that. But at least he was in that area, in that position, in the penalty box to get that opportunity. He's been great. El Neni as well has come in and has just been fantastic in central midfield. Player I wasn't sure would see play for Arsenal again before leaving in the summer, and yet he's come in when needed, when called upon, and delivered 2 excellent performances in midfield. And I can't stand, or couldn't stand, seeing the midfield pairing of Xhaka and El Neni. I'd seen it too many times. I thought it was done and dusted. It just wasn't going to deliver, and lo and behold, the pair of them have come in and stepped up and delivered exactly when they needed to. And full credit to them for that. And they've given Arsenal a chance. I mean, it's in their hands. They're in the top 4 with 5 games to go. They've obviously got that huge game with Tottenham coming up, which you kind of look at it and think, is it literally going to come down to that match? I hope not, because I'm not sure my heart can take that. It's going to be, watching the North London derby, difficult enough as it is. But if with literally the top 4 of the line, that's going to be difficult. Tottenham obviously have to go to Liverpool before that match, which is going to be crucial. And Arsenal have just got to keep the pressure on now. We've got West Ham at the weekend. Got to go there and win. Keep this momentum up, and really sort of try and put pressure on Tottenham ahead of that North London derby at their ground. It's going to be a thriller. And given the mood I was in, and given the position Arsenal were in after that Southampton game, just a little over a week ago, I honestly didn't think we'd be in this position now. So fair play to Arsenal, fair play to Mikel Arteta. He's managed to get a tune out of his players. I thought their performance against Chelsea was absolutely magnificent. Yes, Chelsea weren't great, but I didn't think Arsenal allowed them to be great. I thought they played really, really well, took the game to them at Stamford Bridge, deservedly won that match, and then followed it up with that Manchester United. And the fact they did that from Wednesday night to Saturday morning as well, or Saturday lunchtime kickoff as well, deserves enormous credit. And they've kept the season alive, and that's what we all wanted, and that's what they've done. And now it's just set up what's going to be a thrilling last 5 games of the season. Okay, so that was just a bit of a rundown of what I missed. I wanted to give my views on it just because I've not been here to actually say anything about it, so I just wanted to give a brief sort of rundown on my thoughts on what's gone on during the last week. But there is obviously quite a bit of news going around at the moment. And a lot of it is centred around Gabriel Jesus, the Manchester City striker, who's been heavily linked with Arsenal while I've been away. Obviously, I've not been here to discuss it with you, so I thought I'd come on now, talk about, give my views on it, my opinion on it. And as far as I'm aware from sources over in Brazil, as has been reported over here, obviously by David Ornstein at The Athletic, who we know is fantastic when it comes to Arsenal. The sources that I've spoken to over in Brazil have backed up what Dave is reporting. There are talks going on with the agent of Gabriel Jesus. Arsenal are very keen on potentially bringing him to the club in the summer, and that is where we are. There's been no discussions with Manchester City as of yet, as far as I'm aware, or as far as I've been told, but conversations with Jesus' representatives are ongoing, and it's, from what I understand, it's looking very, very likely he will be leaving Manchester City this summer, and they won't massively stand in his way. He has 1 year left. It looks like it won't cost an absolute fortune to get him, potentially around £25 million. He's Premier League ready. He scored 4 goals at the weekend. We know what he can do in the Premier League. I was talking to someone who I know very well around Manchester City about him this morning, and he was saying that he's a very sketchy. He can be a bit of a sketchy player. When he's good, he's very good. When he's low on confidence, he can really struggle and to try and get that confidence back. But you kind of look at his numbers, yes, albeit at Manchester City, and a lot of people say any forward will do well in this Manchester City side, but I think Jesus is a very good player, and I think for Arsenal he'd be an excellent signing. I'm not saying it's going to happen, we'll have to wait and see, but there are certainly talks ongoing, and Arsenal are positioning themselves to be in a position to potentially get this deal done in the summer. When the end of the season comes around. I mean, like I said, 25 million for someone like Jesus, who's proven Premier League ready. Only 25. Arteta knows him well. For me, absolutely fits into Arteta's system. You there will be another forward signing. If Jesus is one of them, there'll be someone else as well. I think if you do sign Jesus, you can kind of be that kind of hybrid forward. He can play as a central striker. He can play out wide. If you do sign him, you also got to go out and get more of a focal point striker as well to give you that other option when it comes to the forwards. I was talking to someone that I know at Arsenal about this morning as well, trying to catch up on all the news that I've kind of missed during the last week, and there's certainly nothing concrete when it comes to the club, so we're still a long way away from this being a potential deal that is done. It's just something Arsenal are exploring at the moment, but they are positioning themselves to be in, at the kind of front of the queue when it comes to Jesus and his future, which looks like will be away from Manchester City in the summer. So it's one to certainly keep an eye on. It's one that I would absolutely think would be a good sign, and always keen to get your views on it. If Jesus does indeed come to Arsenal, if they do really sort of press forward in this move to sign him, what do you think? Would you be happy with it? Do you think they should look elsewhere? Would you see him as Arsenal's number 9 going forward, or do you kind of like me see him as almost that hybrid forward option, but they also need to look for someone else, just more of a focal point option as well, not necessarily to start, but to be in the squad? I really do think they need that kind of man. And, I know they like Dominic Calvert-Lewin, that sort of player. Again, I'm not saying it's going to be him, but that kind of player, more of a sort of physical specimen who can come in and potentially, change the game, give Arsenal another option, another plan, so to speak, when it comes to how they play. So let me know your thoughts on that. Always interested to hear them. Gabriel Jesus, yay or nay? Let me know in the comments below. But that is my what I know about the situation as it stands right now with Arsenal. Just a little bit of sort of team news housekeeping for you. Been getting lots of questions about this while I've been away and since I've returned today about Bukayo Saka's fitness and Thomas Partey's fitness. In terms of Bukayo Saka, I don't think there's anything, massively to worry about. Yes, he went off at the weekend, but Mikel apparently was sort of saying after the game at the weekend he didn't think it was anything too serious. I've kind of put the feelers out a little bit today, and again, I think people around the club are expecting him to be okay this weekend. We'll have to wait and see as training progresses, but I don't think there's anything to worry about. Someone messaged me on Twitter earlier today saying Saka out for the season. It's certainly nothing like that. So I don't think you need to be too concerned about Saka's fitness. Fingers crossed he should be okay to face West Ham this weekend. One player who won't be facing West Ham this weekend is Thomas Partey. There has been, I've seen suggestions doing around on social media that he could potentially be well ahead of schedule in his return to fitness. Before I went away, Mikel Arteta was speaking about Thomas Partey and seemed to basically rule him out for the season in that press conference ahead of the Southampton game, saying it wasn't good news on Partey and that he'd be surprised if he play again this season. There have been suggestions that he is now, as I said, well ahead of schedule and that he could well feature. Look, I spoke to someone close to Thomas Partey this morning and he said that he wasn't ruling anything out, but it's just a case of let's see how it goes. He said Thomas has a history of coming back from injuries a little bit quicker than expected, so he wouldn't rule anything out. But no one's right now, as far as I'm aware, sort of looking at it and guaranteeing that Thomas is going to be potentially involved for the final 2 weeks of the season or anything like that. So I'd temper your expectations or your excitement when it comes to Thomas Partey. He is clearly working hard. You've seen the videos that he's posted on social media. He is doing all he can to be involved at some point before the season comes to an end. But I don't think Arsenal will be taking any risks. Even if he is around, he does somehow return with a week to go. You think he's missed all of that football. He's not. He's going to be lacking match sharpness. You certainly don't throw him in. We saw what happened when Arsenal threw him in against Tottenham last season when he'd been out for a long time. That backfired spectacularly. You don't want something like that happening again. Yes, everyone wants Thomas Partey to be fit because Arsenal are a better side when Thomas Partey's playing, but he needs to be 100%. He needs to be, bang up to speed when it comes to match fitness, and I'm not sure that will be the case with Thomas Partey. So as far as I'm aware, he is trying, he's pushing. No one is ruling anything out, but it's just a case of wait and see when it comes to Thomas and how he sort of comes through this rehabilitation process. So I wouldn't be getting too excited about it. Press conference wise for Mikel Arteta this week, that is going to be Friday ahead of the West Ham game. And clearly going to be in an excellent mood. I'm looking forward to heading down to London, Colney, for that one. I will be there. Some big decisions for Mikel to make. I saw that Takehiro Tomiyasu came back, got a really good welcome when he came back against Man United at the weekend. Fantastic to see him back. Love that little sort of movement he did down the right to draw Cristiano Ronaldo into the foul and got Ronaldo a booking as well. It's brilliant news for Arsenal that Tomiyasu will be back. I think Cedric's done very, very well in his absence. Fair play to him. But if Tomiyasu's fully fit, then Tomiyasu, for me, he plays 100%. He'll have another week of training this week, and I think he starts against West Ham. I'd be very, very surprised if he doesn't. He does. You do have the option, obviously, of playing Tomiyasu at left back. He can play there. He played there a lot in Italy. He's very two-footed, so there is the option there. I know Nuno has been pretty erratic. Obviously scored the goal against Manchester United, which was great for him, gave away the penalty. There was some highs going forward, there were some lows defensively. It's just what you get with Nuno. So potentially Cedric could keep his place at right back and you could move Tomiyasu over to left back to shore things up. I'm not sure that will happen. I think potentially you can play Tomiyasu, bring Tomiyasu back in at right back. That shores things up defensively. You can almost play as a back three at times with Tomiyasu, White and Gabriel, and that gives Tavares a little bit more freedom to get in down the left and just sort of bomb forward and attack a little bit more, which is obviously what he's better at the moment at this stage of his career when it comes to defensively. So I think personally, Tomiyasu, if he's fully fit, he plays right back on Saturday, and then stick with Tomiyasu at left back and just give him a little bit more freedom to play and to get down that flank and cause some problems in the final third. That's it from me. Thank you very much for watching. It's good to be back. Good to be back talking about some Arsenal victories as well. I'll continue to do these videos as we head through the week, get closer to that big game against West Ham at the weekend. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks for all your nice messages while I've been away. Have a good day. Enjoy the sunshine. I'll speak to you soon.